Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price today as we are seeing a second rejection at this major resistance level and the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, just like we predicted in our video yesterday. I want to talk about whether or not Bitcoin is going to see another breakdown or if we're going to be able to come back up and retest this weekly open. And then we're going to take a look at what's happening to Ethereum. Just like we predicted in our video yesterday, we're seeing more weakness as we formed a high and we've yet to form a higher high, actually forming a lower high. And I want to talk about if Ethereum is going to come back down to this major support level, and then we'll look at Ethereum dominance, Bitcoin dominance, others dominance, but then most importantly, the traditional markets, the S&P 500 down over 2%. We talked about international markets showing weakness yesterday, and now we're starting to see the S&P 500 show weakness. This has a huge effect on Bitcoin. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Alabeidi. If you appreciate this content, remember to like this video. First, I want to talk about exactly what's happening to Bitcoin. You can see we're struggling to maintain this 100 period moving average on the 4-hour chart right now, and we've already seen a second rejection at this major structural level. At this point for Bitcoin, if we're not able to hold this major support sitting at $48,500 US, I believe there is a high chance we can come back down to retest this low here at $44,800 US, and we even have a potential of coming down to this 200 period moving average on the 4-hour chart, which is now above 41,950, which is extremely positive because that means that we could even come down and retest this 200 period moving average, even just a wick, and we won't even come back down to the previous all-time high. And I don't want to see Bitcoin come down to this previous all-time high at 41,950. And so at this point, things aren't looking too bad. Just like we predicted in our video, we are most likely seeing a consolidation in this range after forming a local top. But if we start to see Bitcoin rise up and we start to see volume, what I'm going to be watching first and foremost is going to be this 50 period moving average on the 4-hour chart, because of course if we can get above that, right now that's sitting above this market structural level, and that could give us enough fuel to come back up and retest the weekly open at 57,280. But we must get above the $53,000 level in order for that to happen, and it has to happen soon, preferably before we retest 48,500 again if we come back down to that level. But just like we predicted in our video yesterday, we're seeing consolidation in this tight range. And realize this, when we look at the 50 period moving average on the daily chart, we are also starting to rise up almost above the previous all-time high. If Bitcoin is able to stay at these higher levels and get this 50 period moving average above the previous all-time high, that could lead us into a potential bullish setup in the next few days where we come down, retest the 50-day moving average just like we did here, and then see another bounce to the upside. And if that becomes the case, I will be monitoring this and letting you guys know. And by the way, if you guys want to win one of my favorite books on investing, trading psychology, the Bible for traders, all you need to do is comment below and share this video, and that'll give you a chance to win this giveaway. And for those asking about our Discord premium group, we did close access to our Discord premium group temporarily just because we have hit our max limit, and I will let you guys know if we reopen that. But for now, the website will not allow you to sign up, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up for those asking about that. I've been getting a ton of messages. But now that we've taken a look at Bitcoin, I first want to cover Ethereum, and then we'll get into the dominance levels and traditional markets, because the S&P 500 down over 2% today. I want to talk about the implications of that. But when we look at what's happening at Ethereum, you can see we did come to test this 50 period moving average, and we actually wicked below this 50 period moving average, below the previous all-time high at 1440, and we came down towards this monthly open, but we did dodge this monthly open. And so at this point for Ethereum, of course, the US dollar value of Bitcoin will have a major effect on the price action for Ethereum. But so far, just like we talked about yesterday, we're seeing a little bit more weakness with Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, and that is completely present here because of the fact that we've yet to come above this previous weekly open at $1,800 US, and we formed a lower high instead of a higher high. And of course, if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin showed more strength by forming a higher high. And then when we look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, you can see we are above the previous weekly open, and we also formed a higher high. And so Ethereum is showing slight weakness compared to the rest of the market. And so we really want to monitor the Ethereum to US dollar chart. Once again, if we start to come up, I want to see us get above $1,800 US to confirm any more upside or even a retest of the weekly open at 1930. But if we start to consolidate at this 200 period moving average for slightly longer, there is a chance we start to come down to retest this 6-hour 200 period moving average, which is also showing confluence with this major structural resistance level, and that's above the previous all-time high. So that would be good for Ethereum. If Bitcoin sees a slide and we bounce at this 200 period and we dodge the previous all-time high, that could be a positive sign for the more midterm time frame for Ethereum. But right now we really need to watch this chart, and more importantly the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. You can see we are faltering away from this support level that we were watching yesterday and actually finding it as a resistance right now. If we zoom in here, you can see it is now becoming resistance. As we all know, previous support typically becomes resistance, and when resistance is broken, it becomes support. And right now you can see we are trending back down, finding resistance at this area, and that to me is not a good sign for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. Once again, there's a lot of fundamentals playing part here with the Binance Smart Chain and a lot of liquidity flowing away from Ethereum. If we look at DeFiPulse.com, you can see here we are under 40 billion in total value locked, and we are seeing a possible top here. I'm not bearish yet. Of course, the Binance Smart Chain is centralized. It has no competition against Ethereum, but for the short term, a lot of people are preferring the lower fees on the Binance Smart Chain, and that is having an effect on the Ethereum to Bitcoin price, which obviously has an effect on the Ethereum to US dollar price. And we are below these major moving averages at the 100 and 200 period moving average. So that is food for thought. Keep that in mind for now. And when we look at what's happening to the overall market, Bitcoin dominance is doing exactly what we want. We're below the weekly open, below the monthly open, but we're above the previous weekly open. So consolidation here is a good thing. We're below the 100 period moving average, or I'm sorry, the 200 period moving average. And so that to me is a very good sign for Bitcoin dominance when it comes to what the future of altcoins will look like. But you can see with altcoins, we are trying to break a new high, but we've already failed once. We are above the previous weekly open and the weekly open and the monthly open, so things are still looking good for the altcoin market. Of course, this tells me that there's still a lot of confidence in the cryptocurrency market. We're not just going to see altcoins dump like in 2017 while Bitcoin maintains a large market cap. I think this is proving to us that there are projects that have intrinsic value in this market right now, and we're able to maintain our dominance level even though prices are coming down. And so that is very key to watch. Realize what's happening right now in traditional markets is having a huge effect on the cryptocurrency market. You can see with the DXY, we are seeing some weakness, but we're still in this consolidation channel, the same channel that we were in at the 2017 bottom when Bitcoin first hit 20,000, and then we saw a bear market. Once the DXY started to gain strength, we want to monitor this support level here at 89.562 as we're coming to retest that. We don't want to see this break. If we see this break, that could be detrimental, not just for the dollar, but if we start to see an elongated period of downtrend for the US dollar, what assets will do is initially follow the dollar like we saw here. And so realize, in March, when we initially saw the markets crash in February, late February, early March, the dollar came down in value and then initially just spiked up really quick. And this was really the bottom for the markets, and that's when the dollar was at its peak strength until finding a massive rejection and a downtrend. And so realize with the dollar, it's very important to watch what's happening in this channel. And we covered international markets seeing some weakness yesterday, the Shanghai Composite, the Hong Kong markets, the Japanese markets, and now we're seeing weakness in the S&P 500. What I'm watching here, because this has a huge effect on the cryptocurrency markets and really all markets, is if we're going to be able to maintain this 50 period moving average, and that's sitting right at that $3,800 level. If we stay above that, that could just be a healthy correction for the S&P 500. We see a consolidation here, maybe retest this weekly open. But if this breaks, that monthly open comes into play, and then we have this 100 period moving average that comes into play, and we have not broken that level or retested that level since October. And so if we come down to that level, that could be quite detrimental for the cryptocurrency market. We want to watch this, and that's not just going to affect crypto, it will affect all markets if traditional markets start coming down. And we all learned that lesson last year in March, of course. And so we have to watch what's happening to the S&P 500. But overall, I'm not too concerned with things. Just to give you guys a roundup of what's happening, in my opinion, we're seeing a very nice local top and consolidation at these higher ranges. The 50-day moving average has been able to come up almost towards the previous all-time high at 41,950. To me, that's a very positive sign for Bitcoin to see strength at these higher levels. And once again, as I talked about earlier in the video, the key level for me at this point, and we've been watching this level since we broke down. Before we even reached this level, we had all of these lines on this chart. When we were coming down here, we knew this was going to act as a resistance. We knew if we broke out of this, we were going to come up, find resistance at this level. Once again, these numbers, they always work because they are significant. These are vibrational charts, right? And so they move on vibrations. And typically when we see major levels on a chart, we're going to see price action vibrate around that range. I call it the vibration range. Of course, you can call it whatever you want, but these levels are extremely important. They will tell us a lot about what the overall picture is, for the markets, and they really just tell you a story. And when we read the book right now, the book is telling us that we're in a consolidation phase. And so at this point, the major level for me at this point is at $48,564 level. If we come back below this previous weekly open, then that will be more concerning. And of course, we will cover that if that happens. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the post notifications to get the updates first. But for now, we have to watch what happens here. Now, if we start to come up, once again, the major level for me is that $53,000 area. That would be very positive for a potential retest of the weekly open at 57,400. And so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do want to pick a winner for our book giveaway. If you guys want to enter into this giveaway, just comment below and share this video. I'll pick a winner for yesterday's giveaway. And let's see here. Emily Johnny says, thanks for all the great info. Go ahead and send me a message on Instagram. The link is in the description below. You won Trading Psychology, the Bible for traders. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Once again, we do have an iTunes podcast if you guys want to listen to our content in audio form. And I am super excited to see what happens to Bitcoin here, because we are testing major levels, and this could give us a real good reading on what the next few weeks will look like based on how these major support and resistance levels hold. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Snipers out.